must also take steps to protect other fundamental freedoms, including the freedom for a woman to make decisions about her own body. And you know, on this subject, it's important to note that to support a woman's ability, not her government, but her, to make that decision does not require anyone to abandon their faith or their beliefs. It just requires us to agree the government shouldn't be making that decision for her. And think about it. For the first time in generations, the United States Supreme Court, the highest court of our land, the former court of Thurgood Marshall, took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, from the women of America. We know, NAACP, that our country has a history of claiming ownership over human bodies. And today, extremist so-called leaders are criminalizing doctors and punishing women for making health care decisions for themselves, personal decisions that is her right to make in consultation with her doctor, her pastor, her priest, her rabbi, her loved ones, not her government telling her what to do. And these so-called leaders, so-called, claim that, well, you know, we just think that this is a decision that should be made by the folks in the states. People in the states can vote on this, right? But at this moment, many of those same so-called leaders are the same ones who are passing laws to restrict the ability of people to vote. Laws, they're passing laws, the same people. Laws that ban drop boxes and restrict early voting. Laws that make it illegal to give people food and water for waiting in line to vote. Undemocratic laws, un-American laws. You know, I asked my team to remember Venn diagrams, those 3 circles, right? And then let's just see where they overlap. So I asked my team, I said, you know, do a Venn diagram on 2 circles for me, and in particular, the overlap of states that are attacking the freedom to vote and attacking women's freedoms over their own bodies. There are 10 states that are doing both. Here's the point. Our freedoms are all connected. Consider the freedom to vote. The freedom to vote is the freedom that unlocks all others. It is a catalyst for economic justice, for social justice, for racial justice. And generations of leaders gave their sweat, their tears, their blood in its defense. You know, earlier this year, many of us were together in Selma, Alabama, as we have been before, this year to commemorate the 57th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. Standing there, shoulder to shoulder, with leaders who return to the Edmund Pettus Bridge every year, it was clear, while we honor the history of the movement, we must recognize the dream of the movement remains unfinished. So, no matter how many times they push us back, we will continue to march forward. And we will pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the Freedom to Vote Act. Friends, freedom, liberty, and democracy are on the ballot this fall. And we need to make sure that our voices are heard. There is a midterm coming up in about, I think it's 113 days, maybe 112 days. 112 days. We're not going to be able to get these days back. So each one of these days, we must, with a sense of urgency, ensure that the American people know their vote matters, it is their voice, that the right to vote is something that the leaders of this organization and its founders knew to be at the core of all of the other rights and freedoms to which we are entitled. So we know what we need to do, and in particular, to protect the freedom to vote and a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, we need people who will defend our rights up and down the ballot, from district attorneys to state attorneys general, from local sheriffs to governors. And we need 2 more votes in the United States Senate. We will not, and the President has been clear, we will not let the filibuster stand in our way of our most essential rights and freedoms. So leaders of the NAACP, together we have accomplished much, but we still have much to do. To move our nation forward, President Biden and I ask for you to do what you have always done. Continue to build coalitions of Americans of all ages and races and backgrounds. Continue to do so with the knowledge that we have so much more in common than what separates us. Continue to activate and organize communities in every state. Continue to use your power to fight for our shared vision of America. And as I often will refer to her, the great Coretta Scott King, who joined the NAACP as a young college student, once said, "The freedom must be earned and won in each and every generation." Today, and I look at the young leaders here in particular, yes? Today it is our collective turn, but we're counting on you all. Because today we have been called to create a more fair, more equal, and more just America. So today, let us recommit to answering the call. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.